A warm welcome to all. I'm Dr. Anthony Amala J. I'm going to talk about the migration of birds. Migration. It is a periodic movement of birds from one place to another. It may be for breeding or for feeding. It is a two-way migration which involves immigration and emigration. Immigration is an outward migration from the feeding ground to the breeding ground. Immigration is an inward migration or return of migration from the breeding ground to the feeding ground. Few examples are swift, swallow, robin, oriole, golden plover, hummingbird, paradise flycatcher, grey lag goose, etc. The birds mainly migrate for breeding, feeding, and to get suitable climatic conditions. What causes these birds to migrate? The birds migrate mainly due to the ripening of the gonads, the instinct, the scarcity of food, shortening of daylight, and fall in temperature. That is, when the climate of an area changes, it tends to move to a better climatic condition. Speed of birds migration. The average speed of bird migration is 30 to 50 miles per hour. However, some birds like swifts are capable of flying at a speed of 200 miles per hour. Moving on to the different types of bird migration. The first type of migration is altitudinal migration. That is, migration of birds from mountain tops to valleys. That is, from mountain top where it is very chill to the valleys. This is usually being done by the mountain birds. Second one, latitudinal migration. Here the birds migrate from north to south or from south to north, that is, towards the latitudinal area. Hence it is called as latitudinal migration. This type of migration occurs during the summer and winter seasons. During winter season, the northern hemisphere becomes very cold, hence the birds migrate towards the south, where it is warmer. While during the summer, the birds tend to move towards the north in order to avoid the high temperature found in the summer season in the southern areas. The third type of migration is longitudinal migration. That is, birds migrate in the east-west direction or west-east direction. Hence, it is called to be longitudinal migration. The fourth type of migration is total migration. Here, when all the members of a particular species living in a particular area migrate from one place to another, it is said to be total migration. The next one is partial migration, where only few members of the species living in a particular area participate in migration. Hence, it is said to be partial migration. Sixth one, diurnal migration. The birds which migrate during the daytime are called as diurnal migration. So we find during the daytime, birds leaving their nest and going to the feeding ground and coming back to their nest in the night. So such type of migration that is usually taking place during the daytime is called as diurnal migration. The next one is nocturnal migration. That is, when the birds migrate only during the night Such type of migration is called as nocturnal migration. The eighth type of migration, that is, certain birds fly away from their nest in the early morning and return back to their nest in the evenings, especially the crows, gulls, and so on. That is, leaving their nest in the morning and coming back in the evening. So they are migrating in a particular day, and every day they go in search of food and come back. So such type of migration is said to be daily migration. Next one is seasonal migration. Some birds, they migrate regularly at a particular season every year. So this type of migration is called as seasonal migration. Example, swift swallows, nightingales, cuckoos, etc. They migrate from south to north during the summer. Hence, they are called as summer visitors. And other birds like fedfare, snow bunting, and redwing, they migrate from the north to south during the winter. Hence, they are called as the winter visitors. So, when there is a climatic change or seasonal change, birds tend to move from one area to another in order to avoid certain seasons. So, such type of migration is said to be seasonal migration. So these are the different types of migrations taken by the birds. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.